Hey all, and welcome back to Henchman Story. I'm Agent of Mischief, and before we get started, I have a new actual play series that I am a part of that I would like to talk about briefly. It is set in a post-apocalyptic Earth where strange and mysterious portals have been opening, and they've been bringing people from different worlds and different planes, which includes the character I play, the Tiefling Warlock Spookalist Scareman. It is DM'd by Joanne, who also recorded and edited our session. This the first episode is up today. I'll probably be posting a link to said episode in the description of this video as well as the comment section. If the basic idea sounds like your kind of thing, check it out. It is very roleplay heavy. If that's your kind of thing, check it out. And subscribe to Joanne's channel. That's all I really want to say about it for now. Let's get started, shall we? I adjust the sleeves in my new uniform as I make my way down the hall. It fit perfectly when I tried it on last night, but this morning I noticed that the forearms were a little heavier than usual. Extra protection, probably. No surprise that Scorpion can score me the good stuff. Add that to the list of perks, I guess. Because I heard her complain about how early this meeting is. That's how you know she's a real supervillain. Only someone truly twisted would schedule a big meeting right at the start of a work day. What a monster. Yet despite the early hour, I find the door to her office guarded by a small contingent of henchmen. After a moment of confusion, I realize they're all squad supervisors, including Dave. I see him bristle at my approach, but don't let it faze me. I have no reason to worry about his opinion anymore, no matter how many passive-aggressive reports he writes. Not only did I kick his ass and get away with it, but he had to actually apologize for it. I admit, I relish how much it must have stung.
If you have business with Madam Scorpion, you'll have to wait. Lord Bedlam has a meeting scheduled with her.
I know he does. I'm in the meeting, so stand aside.
You're in the meeting? How's that? That can't be right. I was willing to apologize, but I'm still your supervisor. You can't just make things up like that.
I will and I can.
You don't have to believe me. We can always go ask Madam Scorpion herself. I'm sure she'd understand the delay if you just told her you were my supervisor.
You can't let him through.
At Dave's request, the crowd of supervisors parts, granting me a path to the door. I can't help but throw in a little swagger, shooting one last smug look at Dave over my shoulder as I stride past him. Man, I can't believe I got to pull a stand aside. This rules. I would have done the old finger guns at him. Just went like, done finger guns. Annoy the shit out of him.
Appreciate it, buddy. Don't worry. I'll be sure to put in a good word for you.
As the door opens, I take a deep breath and stand up straight. For once, feeling no hint of nerves, I step inside. I enter to find Lord Bedlam gesturing wildly at the map on Scorpion's wall, so engrossed that he doesn't notice my presence until the door closes behind me.
Number 065. I'm afraid you have the wrong room. The madam and I were just...
We were just about to transition to matters of strategy, so don't worry, Stanley. You're right on time.
On time? So he is... I'm sorry, I think you invited the wrong henchman. Number 065 here is...
I'm not the sort who adds the wrong person to a meeting or accidentally hits reply all on an email. Stanley is here at my specific invitation. You see, he's to be the new henchman liaison for your organization. Therefore, he will be responsible for all henchman contractors during this little incursion, and for the foreseeable future afterwards.
My eyes widen in surprise, but I quickly suppress any objections. So that's how she's covering it. I was wondering how we're supposed to play off her new favoritism. This way I can openly interact with her at any time with no one getting a hint at the true nature of my assignment. Getting a hint about the true nature of my assignment.
He's what? I mean, due to recent events, these contractors of yours make up nearly half my workforce. Are you certain that number 065 here can handle it?
Quite certain. I've handpicked him for the job, as is my right. It says so right in our contract. You did read the contract, didn't you, Lord Bedlam?
Yeah, Lord Bedlam.
Well, yes, but I didn't think. I mean, shouldn't we have one of my supervisors in charge? They're experienced, you know.
No, my decision on this matter is final. I've thought this through very carefully. Stanley is perfectly equipped for the job. Speaking of, how are you finding that uniform, Stanley? Are the new features to your liking?
It's pretty comfortable, actually. Thanks. But, what new features are you talking about?
Do I get like those wrist laser thingies like Black Widow has? Is that why
You
they're
didn't
so
find
heavy?
them? Good. The integration is meant to be subtle. Look for a switch on your right forearm.
I shoot the supervillain a puzzled look, but follow her instructions nonetheless. Better be careful and point my hand away from my face.
I think I found it. This thing here?
Then I shoot Lord Bedlam.
Holy shit!
To my dismay, a red blade of energy shoots out of my wrist, identical to Madame Scorpion's sword in everything but length. Compared to hers, mine is more of a short sword, but it looks no less sinister.
What? You gave him energy sword hands? I've been trying to get those for years!
Yes, well, as the Henchman liaison, Stanley needs to represent the Scorpion group as well as yourself. So while his uniform may bear your colors and sigil, in battle he'll carry my blade. Seems fair, don't you think?
Seems more than fair to me. Hot damn. But wait, what if I'd skewered myself with this thing?
And she'd find someone else, I'm sure.
Well then, you wouldn't be worthy of it, would you? Any fool who would accidentally impale themselves with that weapon would be certain to lose their fingers within a week, even with a warning.
I gulp as I examine the vibrant red blade, holding it up to the light. Yeah, I'd prefer something not attached to my arm, personally, but I guess she didn't want to risk anyone else getting a hold of it. Damn thing will probably self-destruct if I'm killed or captured. I shake my head and turn off the blade.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll do my best to put it to use.
I have no doubt. Speaking of, let's dispense with the small talk and get down to business, shall we?
To defeat the Huns? The supervillain holds up the distress beacon I got from Nova yesterday.
Now then, by activating this beacon, we can draw in Shining Novas back up to a location of our choosing. Once we do, we can pin them down and eliminate them. And in doing so, eliminate any threat to this fortress. How much backup she has exactly is uncertain. Her abundance of caution could mean that it is no more than one or two of her most trusted colleagues. However, we can be certain of one thing. No matter how many arrive, that petulant child, Miss Dynamo, will be among them. Knowing this, and given the beacon's need for a clear signal, where would you two suggest for an ambush? You know the terrain better than I.
The hangar is
The
enclosed.
hangar. If the goal is to pin them down, then we need to get them in an enclosed space where we can limit their ability to fly. That's the big advantage they have over you power-wise, right?
Correct. If we can contain them, then in time I can cut them down. Fighting them in the open air risks letting them escape, and gives them a tactical advantage.
What? You want to let them into the heart of my fortress? But my announcement stage is there. Do you have any idea what I spent on that stage elevator?
Dude, this was never gonna be about you.
And you will have more money to replace it afterwards. I don't see the issue.
With respect, madam, that is because it isn't your lair. It is mine, Lord Bedlam's. We should be meeting our enemy outdoors, away from my precious property. I apologize, madam. You know I have been more than accommodating, but I feel strongly on this matter. It is my lair, and as your partner, I must be heard. I
She's
won't
totally
be
gonna
muzzled
kill
out
him.
like like I would never want you to be were you in my position. You understand. You do understand, yes?
glance between the supervillains and scooch back just to her. Safely out of the collateral damage zone. Lord Bedlam is really pushing his luck.
Yes, I understand you. I understand you quite well. But I will grant your request anyway, as a token of good faith. After all, you are correct. We are partners, are we not?
Why, yes, of course. We most certainly are. Now then, perhaps we should move on to the logistics of deployment. First, of course, we'll need a squad to manage the refreshments.
Do we really? From there, the meeting really takes a turn for the boring, diving into the weeds of what squad will go where, the chain of command, all that crap. I don't feel like I have much to add, but Scorpion continues to ask my opinion. It's not something I'm used to around here, and clearly Lord Bedlam isn't used to it either. Yet if he has any more complaints about my involvement, he keeps them to himself, though I do notice that he's only been referring to me by my Henchman ID number. He did forget my name earlier, but I wonder.
Well, I think that just about wraps everything up. I'll go confer with my supervisors to get everything ready for the afternoon. Oh, and I'll ask our chef about those pigs in a blanket.
More baloney.
That truly won't be necessary.
But I insist. Oh, and I'll have my cell, so do call if anything requires my attention. You, will call, yes?
For the 1000th time, yes. I will call you if I require you.
Good.
Nodding to himself, Lord Bedlam heads for the door. As he leaves, Scorpion holds up a hand in my direction, so I don't move to follow. After the door closes, we can hear Lord Bedlam bellowing and blustering at the squad supervisors. Only when that has faded does Madame Scorpion lower her hands.
So, Henchman liaison, huh? Pretty clever. All of this is making sense now. You send him on an operation that depletes his manpower, replace his losses with contractors from your app, and put your inside man in charge. Hostile takeover in less than a week. You're ruthless.
Why, thank you. I'm flattered, but I may need to be more hostile than that. He's tugging a bit too hard on his leash for my liking. That's why I relented on the location of the battlefield, to give him more rope, as it were, whether he hangs himself with it or not. Well, we'll see, won't we? I've added a few security measures to the supercomputer, just in case.
If he does, who replaces him?
And if he does, who would replace him? I mean, I'd be flattered, but...
No. That would rather defeat the point of this whole affair, especially so soon after you've become Henchman liaison. Whoever runs this little outfit must remain a step removed from myself. The goal is to control it while maintaining the appearance of autonomy.
So maybe like Dave or some
Honestly,
shit?
his exact replacement is immaterial if it comes to that. So long as I have you as my asset. So don't you concern yourself with that blustering buffoon, Stanley. You just focus on your new duties. I expect you to be the picturesque representation of what Henchman is capable of.
Well, I can't say I've been called picturesque before, but I'll do my best.
See that you do. Now then, we'd better move along. You have some new subordinates to see to, and I have a few final arrangements to make. We'll spring the trap at 2 p.m. sharp. Have the contractors assembled at the main gate an hour before then.
Sure thing. I'll get on it.
Supervillain nods and turns her back to her desk, expecting me to go. And I comply, heading out the door with confident strides that feel like they belong to someone else entirely. This really is the beginning of a new chapter for me, I can feel it. Assuming, of course, that I can make it through the day without getting pulverized. I glance over my shoulder at the motley crew of contract henchmen that are now under my supervision, all doing their best to stay hidden among the undergrowth. The uniforms make that basically impossible, of course, on top of not being the right size for at least half the people wearing them. I guess there's no point in tailoring them for temporary henchmen. I turn to my right, where Madame Scorpion is fiddling with the knob on the hilt of her sword. She's messed with that before during the side gig on Friday night. I think she mentioned something about frequency. Wonder what it means.
Okay, all the Henchman squads are in position. For all the good it'll do them.
Excellent. Then the stage is nearly set. We're simply waiting on...
Let the very trees of this forest quake with fear, for they now give shade to the world's most sinister outdoorsman, Lord Bedlam!
The world's most sinister outdoorsman. If I had... Damn, who would I call the most sinister outdoorsman? I'm blanking. All the outdoorsmen I can think of are very wholesome. There's no Steve Irwin. Several squirrels do indeed flee in terror as Lord Bedlam stomps his way through the forest, much to his delight.
Yes, these fuzzy rats have the right idea. Tremble and flee before me.
You're late, Lord Bedlam. And very, very loud. I believe we discussed avoiding both of these qualities.
Well, my tardiness couldn't be helped. I had to make sure we had those pigs in a blanket ready after all.
She's so gonna
Feel free to
fucking
help
murk
yourself.
him.
By the way, Chef Antonio outdid himself.
There's no way this man stays alive. I look over his shoulder to find not one, but 4 henchmen carrying trays piled high with the aforementioned hors d'oeuvres. I didn't think he'd actually do it. I wonder if Mad Scorpion would judge me if I had one.
Please tell me you at least brought your henchmen as well.
Why, yes, of course. Da Vinci, are all our squads accounted for?
Yes, sir, Lord Bedlam. Every squad has been given a mandatory pep talk and is in position.
Splendid. Now then, I'd better go inspect our formations. Can't be too careful about those formations, you know. Come along now, Declan.
Right away, sir.
He'll never know his name. Never. Dave, of course, glares in my direction before trying to follow his villainous master, but there's something smug about it this time. What are they up to? I turn towards Madame Scorpion, but she's already holding up a hand in my direction.
Let him tie his own noose if he so desires. There are plenty of trees for him to swing from. Just focus on the task at hand, and make sure that all our contractors have their phones on, would you?
Does that boost your power?
Does that boost your power or something?
Not exactly. It's not a matter of adding more processing power to the equation. More like smoothing out the lines of communication, so to speak.
So what? You use them as hotspots to help your connection to the network or something? Like you're mooching off of someone's Wi-Fi?
Not quite. But that's probably as close as you're going to get by guessing. It's more about the flow of data. All you need to know is that the more phones with Henchman installed there are around me, the more information I can safely process. Let's leave it at that.
I nod and furrow my brow. Safely? I suppose there's probably some strain in dumping a whole bunch of data into your brain constantly, but I hadn't given it much thought until now.
Just get those phones on and keep them that way. I'll handle the rest.
I shrug, but follow the supervillain's orders nonetheless. As word travels through the battalion of henchmen, I see a few take out their phones. The plenty already had them on. With that taken care of, Madame Scorpion pulls Shining Nova's distract beacon out from her pocket.
Well then, let's cross the Rubicon, shall we?
Time to beat up this bunch of goody-goody two-shoes. And with that, Madame Scorpion literally casts the beacon out into the clearing before us, where it pulses with a faint red glow.
A little melodramatic, don't you think, Caesar?
Not at all. This is the dawn of a new age, Stanley. Whether the world knows it or not.
Maybe she's right, but for now the new age seems an awful lot like the last one. Minutes pass, the only action the forest sees is the occasional cough and uniform adjustment. Where the hell is this backup? Did Nova give us a dud? For that matter, where did Lord Bedlam go? Damn it, I don't like this.
Hey, boss, when should we...
I frantically look around for Mad Scorpion, but don't find even a hint of red and black everywhere. Aw, crap, have I just been played? Maybe? Just as I make that realization, something careens down from the clouds at breakneck speed, sending branches, leaves, and henchmen alike flying on impact. I go up and turn in the direction of the commotion. Despite the fact that I'm crossing my fingers as hard as I possibly can, it's exactly who I feared it would be.
You lilac losers didn't seriously think you were hiding in here, did you? That's almost sad.
I feel like at least some of them thought they were hiding, yes.
But not quite as sad as you idiots thinking that beacon you activated was the real deal. I bet you actually thought I was gonna walk in here blind, didn't you? Too bad for you. My friend's a lot smarter than that. Of course, even if you have her fake beacon, that still means the real Shining Nova is somewhere around here. So that being the case, I'm gonna grab one of these trees and start playing home run derby with you assholes until one of you tells me where Shining Nova is. And I ain't gonna regret a second of it.
Oh, you'll know regret before the end. Despair, too.
Oh shit, oh shit.
I promise you that.
Flash of red, Madam Scorpion shoots swords to surprise superhero, her path marked by a hail of charred leaves and branches as she cleaves her way through the undergrowth. Caught flat-footed, Miss Dynamo barely manages to turn, just in time to catch her horizontal right swing across her abdomen. It doesn't break skin or even the fabric of her uniform, but it does push her back.
Damn it!
Rather than trying to stop her momentum, Dynamo just alters her trajectory, flying upward towards the treetops. Scorpion pursues without hesitation, bounding first to a tree trunk and then to the branches above.
What? Hey! You used me as bait?
Knowing what you know about her, like, you really think that's that much of a surprise, Stanley? Like, come on, bro.
Again?
If it's any consolation, it was my sincerest hope that this brute would land on someone else.
If we romance her, does she stop using us as bait, or we get the same treatment? I feel like we get the same treatment.
How's your face for a landing spot then?
Miss Dynamo's counterpunch leaves the tree Madam Scorpion was perched on its splinters, as the supervillain herself has already gracefully leaped to another one.
Are you threatening to hit me? Oh, well, I wasn't intimidated before, but now I'm terrified. You're just so tough and strong. Whatever shall I do?
Oh, can it, bitchinatrix. I ain't here for conversation. I'm here for my friend, and that means no messing around.
Another haymaker flies, and another tree splits on contact. Yet Scorpion still avoids the blow, flipping to another branch. This time she immediately moves to counterattack.
Like you weren't messing around on Wednesday. Or the other night. You're deluding yourself, child.
Supervillain unleashes a flurry of slashes, and she and Dynamo pass each other in the air. While the caped hero manages to avoid a few of them, just as many find their mark, sending her off course. Within a moment, though, she's adjusted and is back on the offense.
Don't be so cocky. I let you get away last night. I have nothing to hold me back now.
Oh, poor naive Uenu. It's far too late for that. But if it makes you feel better, by all means, let it all out.
They're hard to follow now, a pair of blurs bouncing through the tree line and tearing it to pieces all around them. I think some of Scorpion's strikes are making contact, for the ones that Dynamo can't dodge or block, she tanks without trouble. Sure, they push her around, but it seems like the sword can't actually cut her.
You think that's gonna rattle me? That you know my name? Don't be stupid.
Scorpion leaps in for another attack. Miss Dynamo spins around, cape fluttering as the back of her fist careens towards Scorpion's skull. Supervillain raises her sword to block, but is still sent flying.
You don't need a freaking computer brain to put that one together, or to figure out that I don't care.
Scorpion twists in the air to land on her feet, but the force of the blow causes her to skid along the ground nonetheless, kicking up grass until she comes to a halt at the base of a particularly large tree.
Yeah, Nova told me about your power, and guess what? Predicting me won't do shit. I just have to hit you hard enough and fast enough that it won't matter if you see it coming. Like this!
Dynamo dives towards the ground like a missile, and Madam Scorpion barely has time to get out of the way before the earth shatters beneath the superhero, who immediately follows up with another blow. This time Scorpion blocks it with the flat of her blade, skidding further back and leaving the two in a deadlock, testing each other's strength.
Still think you know me, huh?
But I do, Uenu. Intimately so.
They just a date?
And my sword does too. With each swing, it learns more and more. Haven't you noticed? Each time we fight, I grow stronger.
Up until now, it had been Dynamo pushing Scorpion back, clearly the stronger of the pair. With some effort, the supervillain managed to stop her retreat.
You said it yourself. You know of my powers, and strength isn't one of them. It's yours. I bled it from you.
What? You're stealing my powers?
Reverse engineering. And with just a few more cuts, I will drink the last drop of knowledge I need from your veins, and let the rest spill to the ground as the life leaves your eyes.
Then I guess I'll just have to squash you here and now.
Suddenly, Dynamo presses forward with renewed vigor, and Scorpion falls to one knee under the pressure. In terms of raw physical ability, her reverse-engineered powers can't quite match the original. When she's mobile, Scorpion's precognitive analytics can close the gap in a hurry, but locked up like this, she might actually be in trouble. On the other hand, the fact that they're grounded means that I might be able to do something about it. Until now, they've been moving too fast for me to interfere, but not anymore. I take a deep breath. Okay, my best weapon is my fancy new energy blade, but if even Scorpion's sword can't pierce Dynamo's defenses, then what is the right play here? If not, then is that the right play here? If not, what is? I have my baton too. I'm gonna dual wield. We could knock her down though. I've been knocked down by a tree before. It was not particularly fun, but I didn't get a concussion or anything. I was fine, I just didn't like it. I'm gonna dual wield, but let's drop the tree on her. No, a direct attack won't work, no matter how many weapons I use. If she can't avoid me, I'll never be able to hit her hard enough to do anything. I need to get creative. If I cut that tree at the right angle... With some trepidation, I activate my uniform's energy blade and run towards a nearby tree. Positioning myself between it and the dueling superwomen, I wind up and take a swing. Hot damn, that went clean through. Now all that's left to do is get out of the way, give it a guiding shove, and for the cherry on top... Stan, you're such a fucking dork.
Always wanted to do that.
What the hell?
As the tree falls, Dynamo breaks the deadlock to turn her attention upward, and Mad Scorpion takes the opportunity to step out of harm's way. Miss Dynamo doesn't bother, and so she decides to simply catch the tree where it falls with one freaking hand.
Nice try, Sunshine, but you're gonna have to do better than that.
Au contraire. Now you're wide open.
Before Dynamo can rid herself of the tree, Scorpion rushes forward and unleashes a lightning-fast combination of cuts and slashes, all of which land flush. The tree falls to the ground in pieces, and the superhero skids backwards. She still doesn't have an open wound, but how much longer will that last? Apparently, that's no longer something she's willing to risk.
Damn it! I don't have time for this! Next time, no amount of lackeys or stolen powers will be able to save you. Remember that.
Whatever. Sensing retreat, Mad Scorpion leaps towards Miss Dynamo, but it's too late. The supervillain's blade slices through nothing but empty air, and the superhero rockets upward, taking to the skies. For a moment, she just hovers up there before turning towards the mountain and racing towards it at speed. Damn, she found the lair right away. That can't be good.
And this is why we needed to confront her in an enclosed space.
Fucking exactly.
Nevertheless, that was cleverly done, Stanley. I appreciate the assistance.
Anytime, ma'am. Was it true what you said, by the way? About copying her powers?
Some of them. My sword has only finished analyzing the enhancements to her musculature so far. Enough to create a rough nanotech imitation. Though it is admittedly a bootleg version. But the biggest prize is yet to come. Just a few more direct hits and I'll be able to crack it.
I let out a low whistle and shake my head at the thought. She has to be talking about flight, right? Now there's a terrifying picture. A flying scorpion.
Damn, a sword that analyzes things as it cuts them. Never imagined something like that could exist. But I guess I've seen crazier shit before. Probably.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to marvel at my genius when this is over. For the moment, we have some catching up to do. Don't dawdle now.
That's the only warning she gives before darting into the forest, leaving me and the other henchmen behind.
What? Hey! You could at least... never mind.
With the resigned sigh, I set about rounding up the Henchman contractors, those who are still conscious anyways. A superpowered throwdown like that always has some collateral damage. But soon enough, my ragtag battalion is on its feet and marching through the forest back in the direction of Lord Bedlam's lair, despite the fact that Lord Bedlam himself is nowhere to be found. Chicken. What the hell is that guy up to? By the time we reach the entrance, Madame Scorpion is already inside, along with the huge smoldering slabs of steel that used to be the lair's front door, still red hot from where her blade bisected them.
You know I can't run as fast as you, right?
Think of it as on-the-job training for your new position.
What, am I the lair's new fitness instructor too? I guess the position's open. Our last one quit when Lord Bedlam tried to mandate lair-wide hot yoga sessions as a way to save on AC costs. Speaking of the lair, why'd you cut the door up like that? That thing's probably gonna be a bitch to replace.
It was sealed and cut off from the power grid. Someone was trying to delay us.
Seriously? Who would have the balls to try and lock you out?
That'd be me, you smart-mouthed little shit! I've got the
I should have
balls.
known that little bitch would be a traitor. I look up from the debris to find none other than Chef Antonio walking down the hallway. He's flanked by his kitchen staff, all wearing aprons and all wielding some kind of cooking implement in attempted menace.
But it ain't the
Oh my
lady
God.
we have any beef
It's
with.
like
Oh
when we,
no!
it's like the fucking,
It's you.
it's like the fucking arc in One Piece where they meet Sanji and there's all the fucking badass, all the badass cooks, many of whom were former pirates.
Knowing you, that beef's probably overcooked.
He's gonna fucking kill me for that one.
Overcooked? I've never overcooked a piece of beef in my life! You hear me? Never in my life!
Just keep letting yourself think that, bruh.
No, it's okay. I'm calm. I'm rational. I'm in control. Lost my cool a bit there. But who wouldn't? After having to grovel and play nice with you. Because you got a promotion? It makes me sick. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. And I won't be able to until I beat the ever-loving piss out of here.
Madame Scorpion can probably murder him for me, right? I gesture first to Antonio, then to the debris, then to Scorpion, opening and closing my mouth as I try to find the words to make sense of this.
Alright, okay. I have just a handful of questions. Just a handful. So you want to meet me at the playground during recess and have this out? Okay, fine. You seem like a guy who couldn't get past high school, so I get it. But like, why now?
Why now? Because I freaking hate you! And if I have to spend another day looking at your smug, snide little face as I smile and serve you food fit for a freaking king, my face will literally burst into flames! You snippy, loudmouth ingrate!
That's fair.
Yeah, you can't... Wait, it's what?
Your face can look a bit snide, Stanley, and your mouth does run rather loud.
Seriously?
She's not wrong.
Whose side are you on?
Oh, I'm not on anyone's side in this little spat. Isn't that right, Mr. Giamatti?
Exactly! This ain't got nothing to do with you, boss lady. I just really, really, really hate this son of a bitch.
Yes, you've made that abundantly clear. See, Stanley, I'm a neutral party.
To my dismay, Madame Scorpion calmly crosses her arms, leans against a nearby wall, and shrugs.
If you're to be my liaison here, then I expect you to be able to handle disputes like these on your own.
And you're not at all worried about finding the superhero that's tearing through our base.
She can wait. If it took me days to master this labyrinth, then that lummox will be wandering around for a century before she finds anything. In the long run, seeing how you handle something like this is more valuable than the time we're losing. So please, do proceed.
Supervillain makes a shooing motion in my direction, like an empress telling her gladiators to have at it. At the same time, she signals for my henchmen contractors to stand back, keeping it one-on-one. I sigh and pull my baton from my belt. Guess I don't have a choice. Though if I'd known this was coming, I wouldn't have rushed back to the lair so quickly.
All right, let's do this, you overgrown sack of baloney.
Oh, it's way too late for flattery, you son of a bitch.
Bologna is gross. That was not a compliment. Practically frothing at the mouth, Chef Antonio charges forward, warbling an unintelligible battle cry. I ready myself as the villainous chef slumbers forward, taking up steam like a truck that's lost its brakes. Only now do I realize just how big the man is. A lot bigger than me, that's for sure. And some of that is definitely muscle, so it's a sure bet he's stronger too, and he's heading right for me.
Well, shit.
No, I can't lose my nerve. If I wait for the right moment to counterattack, then I can end this fight right now. As the enraged chef lowers his shoulder, I sink into a fighting stance and pull back my fist.
Come and get it, you son of a...
Maybe if I were faster, more skilled fighter, I could pull that strategy off, but I'm neither of those things. So instead, I get sent flying wild. Why did I say wild? So instead, I get sent flying by the mother of all shoulder tackles, flailing wildly the whole way. Oh, duh, 'cause I saw it down in the next sentence. As I crash to the ground, my foe lets out a deep maniacal laugh.
Well, ain't that precious? You really think you can take me, don't you? Come on, tough guy. Let's see what you got. Come on.
Utterly unintimidated, Antonio beckons me forward as I struggle to my feet. It's hard to fault him for his confidence. If that's how hard he hits, how in the world am I going to take him down?
I used to be a big deal, you know. The creme de la creme. King of the freaking castle. Then those good-for-nothing inspectors came along with their health code violations and risks to public health and safety. Well, you know what I have to say to that?
Baloney?
Bullshit, that's what! Bullshit upon bullshit, a whole mountain of bullshit. But I knew the truth. They were bought and paid for. They had to be. It was those sniveling little weasels and Mama Mozzarellas. They put them up to it. And the funny thing, one of those health inspectors, he looked an awful lot like you. I bet your family ain't you. I bet you were in on it.
Oh my god.
You know, I want to deny that, but if you came up with that whole theory in the first place, then I don't think I've got much hope of convincing you otherwise. So hey, if it makes you feel better, it was me, Antonio. I'm the one behind it all. That health inspector, a clone from another dimension that I controlled with my mind. And Mama Mozzarella? Why, Mr. Giamatti, I am Mama Mozzarella.
I knew it! I knew it was you this whole time!
Well, at the very least, I can check convoluted identity reveal off the old bucket list before he reduces me to chunky meat sauce. Man, what's wrong with me? I can't help but antagonize this guy. I probably deserve this beating, but I can't afford it. Not now. I've got more important things to deal with, so somehow I've got to find a way to beat him. To do that, I need to neutralize his strength, and then I need to hit him with everything I've got. I need to surprise him. Yeah, my only chance is to catch him off guard. I need to use something in my toolbox that he's not familiar with.
You know what? I don't need this to beat you.
I collapse my baton and stow it on my belt, then make a show of raising my fists like an old-timey boxer.
Put him up, big man. Let's go.
Happy to, Pipsqueak. It's your funeral.
The chef grins maniacally, cracking his sizable knuckles as he confidently stalks forward. I hold my ground, beckoning him onward as he raises his own fist in kind, and he's happy to oblige, unleashing a powerful red hook. Did I cut off his arm? Fortunately for him, I have just enough time to block it with the flat of my brand new energy blade. His hand recoils, knuckles sizzling.
What kind of knife is that?
That's no knife. This is a knife. By then, I've already pulled my baton back off my belt and activated its shock function. All that's left to do is to jab it into Antonio's neck. The chef sways but doesn't fall, so I jab him a second time, then a third.
You little shit. This a bunch of below.
Surprise! You got knocked the hell out. Now I'm kinda hungry though, not gonna lie.
I exhale in relief as the British chef finally stays down. Apparently, at least one member of our audience approves based on the slow clapping that follows.
My. What an amusing little performance. Efficiently done, Stanley. Bravo.
So is that the thumbs up from the Emperor's box then? Or...
Oh, no need to stain the floors. I think he's learned his place. I just hope he's not the only one.
She glances in the direction of Chef Antonio's kitchen staff, who are still brandishing their weapons. They look at one another and then at their fallen leader, hesitating. Yet before they can decide whether to stand their ground or surrender, the decision is made for them. Suddenly, James, the gate supervisor, charges into view. He's still wearing his microphone, so his voice echoes out of the guard post speakers and a broken pair of handcuffs dangling from his wrists. Guess that's how they got control of the gate. But now they're gonna pay for it. Wearily, I wave the Henchman contractors forward, and they join James in the beatdown.
I told you all. One day, it'll be the gate supervisor's day to shine.
I turn to Madame Scorpion and shrug.
You did say that.
Offering a shrug of her own, Scorpion removes her hand from her sword and marches down the hallway, skirting past the remains of the melee at the end of the kitchen, as the last of the kitchen staff is restrained or surrenders. I follow right beside her, standing close as we scoot by the chaos and glancing over my shoulder at it once we're past. But as the sounds of scuffling henchmen fade into the distance, I can't help but shoot the supervillain a wry glance.
See? Look how easy things can be with a little teamwork.
Is that whining I hear? Don't be such a spoil sport. I was doing you a favor by staying out of that little spat. Didn't it feel good? Bringing an old foe so low with your own two hands? It wouldn't have been nearly as satisfying if I'd done it for you. Besides, now you know just how far you've come. Could you have done that even a week ago? Would you have possessed that killer instinct?
No, I suppose not.
And that's just the beginning. Soon, you'll know this feeling every day.
Really? You're not just feeding me a bunch of honey-coated bullshit? Because between this and leaving me behind earlier...
Of course not, Stanley. What would I gain from such a deception? If you are to be an effective liaison for the Scorpion Group and Henchman, you must learn some autonomy. I cannot have you calling my office over every little dispute.
You call gladiatorial combat a dispute?
In our line of work? Yes, of course. Come now, you've been in this industry long enough. That is simple office politics. If you can't handle that, then you can't handle the job.
Fair enough. I guess if I'm supposed to be your liaison, people need to start looking at me like they look at you, right? Is that what you're getting at?
That's one way of putting it. But we'll have plenty of time to discuss this later. For now, let's focus on the task at hand.
You got it, boss.
With that, we fall silent and continue to delve deeper into the lair in search of the intruding superhero. Somehow I don't think she'll be hard to find.
That didn't sound like it was nearby, and I doubt she found the other entrances. Only other place that could be is the main hall. Probably forced the hangar door open.
So it seems. I have her on the security system. She's throwing another temper tantrum. Typical.
With Miss Dynamo located, we change course and pick up the pace. Now that she's inside the lair, there will be nowhere to run, for us or her. One way or another, this rivalry is getting settled. I just hope I don't get caught in the crossfire. The carnage is apparent even before we enter the main hall. The entrance is partially collapsed, and several injured henchmen limp frantically in our direction, only to pale when they see who's coming. But neither I nor Madame Scorpion stop to listen to their excuses. We're far too focused on the only person in the room who isn't hurt at all.
This doesn't have to be hard, you know. In fact, I'll make it real simple for all you magenta morons. One of you can take me to Shining Nova, or I can bring this whole goddamn mountain down on your heads. A or B? Let's go.
She could do it, too. The hangar doors at the top of the chambers weren't just pried open, they were ripped off entirely. The place looks like a war zone, with small craters and bits of rubble littering the floor. And that's to say nothing for the piles of unconscious henchmen, though she had the courtesy to at least set them safely in the chamber's far corner. Despite all this, Madame Scorpion strolls right towards the superhero as if she hasn't a care in the world.
I'd really rather this mountain stayed intact, if you don't mind. I just finished redecorating my office, and the rug was terribly expensive. And since you haven't the slightest hope of finding your more capable partner, then I think a third option is in order.
I beat you senseless until you tell me where she is. You're right. That does sound better.
Was that really the best barb you could muster? I just want to make sure you're satisfied with your choice of words. It won't be long until you utter your last.
You know, it's funny. You told me I'm the one who never keeps her promises, but you keep throwing out these big, scary threats without backing them up. You haven't even scratched me with that glow stick, and I'm supposed to be shaking in my cape? Give me a break. You're nothing but a paper tiger who knows how to accessorize. And today I'm finally gonna rip you to shreds.
And so once again, the two combatants charge at one another, fists flying and swords slicing faster than I can keep track of. A punch glides the flat of Madame Scorpion's blade so hard that the ground cracks beneath her, even as she pushes it aside and counters with a wide sweeping cut.
8 more.
The blow is strong enough to throw Dynamo back, but she quickly recovers, skidding to a halt before bursting forward once again.
Counting down the seconds until I knock your teeth out.
The cat's left until you die.
The second exchange is much like the first. Dynamo charges in, throwing haymakers at lightning speed. Any one of those blows could be a knockout on contact, but none connect. Much like she did during Wednesday's operation, Madame Scorpion flows around the superhero strikes, dodging more and redirecting the rest of her sword. She never blocks head-on, always using Dynamo's momentum against her, and even though she's technically in retreat, it seems effortless, even more so than before. It's as if it's getting easier for her. 2 more slashes connect, still not breaking skin, and again Miss Dynamo is pushed back. This time she pauses before resuming battle, nostrils flared in frustration as she spits to the side.
Just 6 left. Is it sinking in yet?
That you never shut up? Yeah, I figured that out a while ago.
That it's over, and there's nothing you can do about it. Don't you see? I've already collected all the data I need on your movements. You can't so much as blink without me predicting it. Oh, it is dawning on you, isn't it? Yes, there it is. That first glimmer of realization. You'll die. Shining Nova will remain my captive, and best of all, she'll finally realize what a miserable failure you are.
Keep her name out of your goddamn mouth!
Their next exchange is faster. Dynamo's anger has made her attacks even wilder. It's not long before Scorpion is able to deliver 3 quick, lunging counter-strikes. This time Dynamo willingly flies back, almost to the other end of the room. It's not just out of frustration, she's finally starting to realize what Scorpion is saying.
And now you're down to 3.
Supervillain calmly adjusts one of the dials on the hilt of her sword, and the blade pulses in response. Briefly, it flares outward like it's been set ablaze, and when it calms, it glows with new intensity.
Maybe 2 if I strike you flush. Ah, but that would be needlessly cruel, wouldn't it? Telling you that you had 3 cuts left, and then killing you before you're prepared. But you won't be ready no matter what, will you? No, I can see it. You're not willing to die. I did warn you, though, didn't I? I said you'd no regret.
Momentarily, it looks as though Dynamo's anger will coax her into another frontal assault, but she stops herself.
You're not bluffing. Then you're the one who should regret telling me. Because now that stupid little toy is never gonna touch me again.
At that, Miss Dynamo takes to the air, but she's not headed for the exit. Instead, she starts flying laps around the room, circling her foe at top speed. Does she think she's barreled Alan? Because I really think she thinks she is. I hurriedly step backwards, and good thing, because right about then is when the superhero starts grabbing whatever random debris she could find and hurling it at Madame Scorpion at deadly velocity. This is new and apparently not just for me. While Scorpion is able to dodge and slice the makeshift projectiles, her movements lack the effortless grace she had before. In fact, she's completely pinned down. How long will it take her to get used to this new tactic? I can't say for sure, but if ever there was time to help, this is it. I creep along the edge of the room, praying that I avoid Miss Dynamo's tension. There's no way I can attack her normally when she's moving that fast. Maybe there's something I can use. The stage would be fun. For a moment, my gaze lingers on the copter, but I shake it off and sprint towards the stage instead. No way, that'd be nuts. It's been ages since I drove a car, much less a crazy helicopter thing. Yeah, I could fucking die. Besides, I don't need to do any damage, just distract her for a moment, and the equipment on that stage should do just the trick.
Please don't notice. Please don't notice.
Fortunately, the superhero was way too distracted and noticed yet another henchman running in the background. While I'm a little winded by the time I set foot on the stage, I remain unharmed.
Okay, let's see what I can use here. There's gotta be some music set up, right?
My eyes land on a few volume knobs and playback controls. It's a little more complicated than streaming a playlist on my phone, but I think I get the idea. Let's see. Any other options? Nothing. Nothing. Is it a microphone? I
You
wonder.
won't care what I have to say, but maybe there's a filter or something. Oh, here we go.
Bedlam filter 1, Bedlam filter 2, _final, Bedlam filter 2, _final for realist time. How many voice filters has this guy tried out? Talking about vain. It just looks like there's a robot one, though. That could do it. It may not sound exactly like Shining Nova, but it could be close enough to make Dynamo lose focus. Maybe worth a shot. If not, I could always blast some terrible music. Maybe throw in a light show. Considering how hard she's fighting to rescue Nova, the voice filter seems like my best bet at throwing her off her game. It may be below the belt, but in situations like this, you do what you gotta do.
Okay, here we go. Filter active and microphone on.
Dynamo! Dynamo, stop! It's me, Shining Nova! I'm totally alright and not at all locked up in a cell somewhere. Also, I found my armor. Crazy, right?
Suddenly, Dynamo screeches to a halt like a dog that just reached the end of their leash.
What the? Nova? Is that really? How did you?
In a flash, Dynamo dashes towards the stage, but stops dead as soon as she sees me. The faint spark of hope dies in her expression as quickly morphs into disappointment, and anger is soon to
I
follow.
was low, Sunshine. Didn't take you for that kind of food.
Well, life's full of little disappointments.
Guess so. Shit, man. What the hell have you let this bitch do to you?
You should be more concerned about what I'm doing to you.
Caught completely off guard, the superhero turns around just in time to see Madame Scorpion hurtling towards her, sword singing. Supervillain unleashes a series of slashing strikes, and Madame Dynamo is sent hurtling across the room. Even now, I see no signals that the sword has gotten through the superhero's skin, but I counted 3 red flashes.
Excellent distraction, Stanley. But I'll take it from here. That was the last bit of data I needed.
Once again, the supervillain carefully adjusts the dials on her sword hilt, and after a moment, the blade thrums menacingly, pulsing with violent anger.
At last. The correct frequency. I've waited too long for this. And now, with this final stroke, your struggle will end. Fight it if you must, but your defeat is already decided. Yet take heart. It will be a beautiful death. I assure you of that.
Miss Dynamo touches down next to a Bedlam copter, and I can see her hesitation. Her fists are clenched so hard they're shaking, and she's snarling like a cornered animal. I gulp and start to back away.
Defeat? You've gotta be kidding. You've completely lost your mind.
Enraged, superhero latches both arms onto the nose of the copter, the metal crunching as she tightens her grip. At first I think she's about to rip a piece of it off. Rip off a piece of it. She lifts the entire thing.
I won't lose. Not this time. I won't!
The scariest part isn't that she's suddenly raising a multi-ton vehicle over her head like a beach ball. It's that with all her anger and adrenaline, she's making it look easy. Frantically, I try to scramble for cover.
I won't lose to you!
I knew she'd just hack it in half. God damn, though.
Now go splat, you damned insect!
The furious roar, she actually throws it, and now an entire asteroid's worth of steel is soaring straight for Madame Scorpion.
Yes, that's it. Beautiful. Hold nothing back.
Then, against all reason or instinct, Madame Scorpion leaps on away, but towards the copter and cuts right through it. God damn. This lady is so scary. I'm still cranky I couldn't romance her. I didn't do good enough. But next time we'll try to do better. It's not enough to shred the vehicle to bits, but it is enough for the supervillain to tear her way through it, like a cutting laser boring its way through a sheet of metal. Even as she slices it apart, she uses the debris as stepping stone, leaping ever closer to the woman on the other side.
Now, at last.
As Madame Scorpion bursts forth from the other side of the copter, Miss Dynamo raises her fist and flies forward to meet her, hero and villain colliding in one final clash.
No despair! It's succumb.
The wreckage collapses, the red blade flashes, and a strip of charred blue cloth flutters to the ground, a piece of the hero's cape. The villain has finally gotten through. Miss Dynamo gasps and falls to one knee, a hand clutching a wound around her gut, trembling. Has she ever been hurt like this before?
But how? My skin, it can't...
Madame Scorpion stands tall, unblemished and unfazed, examining her sword as if she were checking her nails.
Your skin?
Her nails.
Oh, you poor thing. All this time, did you think it was your skin that stopped bullets? Haven't you noticed? Your uniform doesn't tear. It was never your skin. It's your bioelectric field. And after 76 strikes, my sword finally found the right frequency to cut right through it, as if it's hardly there at all. Better still, now I can imitate it. I've been using this cumbersome electromagnetic knockoff, but it's just not the same. I need yours. Don't worry. I'll put it to better use than you ever could.
Get real. Even if you could, Nova won't let you.
Funny you should mention her. You see, I have this theory. I think she knew about your powers too. I wonder why she wouldn't tell you. Paranoia? Or did she simply believe you weren't good enough? Well, considering this failure of a rescue operation, perhaps she was right.
Shut up! I haven't failed. Not yet. This isn't over!
With one final burst of energy, Miss Dynamo soars once again, but not towards Madame Scorpion. Instead, she spirals up towards the hole where the hangar doors used to be, unable to fly in a straight line. A momentary swerve nearly takes her into the ceiling instead, but she adjusts and continues to float upward, past the cave and into the blue sky above. For a moment, I lose her in the sun, and when I find her again, she's falling, a black speck with a fluttering cape tumbling towards the forest below. Madame Scorpion deactivates her sword and clicks her tongue. She made no move to stop the escape, content to watch alongside me.
It seems quite over to me. Wouldn't you agree, Stanley?
Yeah, sure does. Do you think she's...
Dead? Not yet. Not that it matters to me. I'm satisfied either way. Even if help reaches her in time, she won't live another second outside of my shadow, knowing that I can finish the job anytime I want. In some ways, that's almost better than killing her. Now then, let's... What's this? Well, well. It looks like we have one more pest to take care of. Come along, Stanley.
Yes, ma'am. Right behind you.
I turn to follow, but stop after a single step to look over my shoulder. Beams of sunlight shine down through the open hangar doors, glistening off the remains of the sliced and shattered Bedlam copter. We won, didn't we? And why do I feel so... No, forget it. I'm just too accustomed to losing these confrontations, that's all. I shake it off with an exhale and turn to follow Madame Scorpion as she returns to the depths of the lair, leaving the sunlight far behind. I have to jog to catch up to Madame Scorpion, who makes no effort to wait for me as she re-enters the lair's labyrinthian hallways. She glances over her shoulder as I approach, but says nothing. Even after matching her pace, the silence hangs until a realization at last hits me.
Hey, where's Lord Bedlam? When you mentioned that we had to deal with another pest, you didn't mean...
Possibly. Though I can't say for certain. We'll find out when we reach my regional uplink. Someone's trying to access it.
I grunt in acknowledgement before falling silent once more. Are we really going to face down Lord Bedlam too? Man, I expected today to have some carnage with this. No, I can't get bogged down in thoughts like that. Deep down, I knew what I was signing up for. The only thing I can do now is keep my eyes forward and focus. We still have one more job to do today. It's a long, lonely walk to the supercomputer room, the same walk I've made every Tuesday for years, from the main hallway all the way to the research wing. More specifically, door 1385, my door. There's no ceremony or reverence for the moment when we arrive. Scorpion doesn't have the patience for it, and me? I guess I'm just not all that nervous anymore. It doesn't matter if it's Lord Bedlam, Shine Nova, or anyone else behind that door. They're not stopping me. No one is. And no one does stop me, because no one is there. At least not in the immediate vicinity. The only sign of movement comes from the foot of the supercomputer, where a lone henchman is scratching his head. Fucking
Gosh darn
Dave.
it. I'm sorry, sir. I just don't know what we're trying to... Oh, sir, you may want to finish putting that on mighty quick.
Yes, Dylan, I heard you the first 10 times. It's just a little tight.
My eyes went with shock as none other than Shiny Nova steps out from behind the supercomputer. When did she escape, and how did she get her armor? Wait, no, Dave said sir, didn't he? And whoever's in that suit, they're not moving around like they're used to it. Each step feels clunky. That means no, it can't be, can it?
Yes, excellent. At last, my glorious new raiment is... What? When did they get here? Why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry, sir. I was trying to, but...
No buts, Damien. Just go finish your task. I'll handle this. Yes, I'll handle this. I'll handle every ounce of this. Just like a true hero.
Lord Bedlam, please tell me that's not you in there. What on earth do you think you're doing?
The villain in Hero's clothing puffs out his armored chest and scrambles to strike an impressive pose, but all he manages to do is show how clunkily he moves in that
The
armor.
only thing I can do.
Tries
We
to
have
suit
left you no
armor.
choice, you traitorous Arachne. You were scheming to replace me. Don't think I couldn't tell. And with him, of all people, a mere henchman.
He points an accusing armored finger in my direction. Is that all this is? Jealousy?
Well, I won't stand for it. I won't be forced out of my own evil organization. Not again. After Transistor Shack, I swore I would never endure another humiliation. No, never again. I was the vice president of brand management, you know. I was supposed to be the president until those other treasonous VPs started scheming against me, just like you're doing now. But you're too late. You can't forsake me, for I have already forsaken you. No, more than that. I've forsaken everything. My stylish purple uniform, my name, and even villainy itself. I've tossed it all in the dumpster of justice and been born anew. Now behold, a new hero for a new age, soon to be famed and respected the world over. Behold, the one, the only, shining Bedlam!
Holy shit, dude.
Dorian, your support, if you please.
Woo! You're the greatest, Lord! Shining Bedlam.
Yes, thank you, thank you. You're too kind.
Anna and Scorpion and I exchange a glance, both hoping that he's not serious, and yet knowing that he must be. Shining Bedlam? What the hell is he thinking? I guess that answers the question about whether he actually had a cause all this time. Nope. Not a single real goal or ideology behind anything he did. No wonder none of those speeches ever made sense. I scoff. All this time, it really was just about him, wasn't it? Every time I got my ass kicked on one of his inane, bungled heists, it was all for vanity. There was never a real mission, never a real crusade.
Stupid, selfish son of a bitch.
On that, we agree. You handle the subordinate? I'll...
No, not this time. He's beneath you. And more than that, he's mine.
So he is. The stage is yours, Stanley. Put on a good show.
Without a word of argument or hint of hesitation, the supervillain steps forward and gestures for me to proceed. I offer a firm nod in return and start marching forward, each step filled with purpose. I think I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
Ah, sending your minion first, are you? How like a villain, sacrificing her own pawn, just to test the might of my shining justice.
The only thing that's being tested here is my patience. And again, you've been testing that for years.
Oh, well, you won't have to be patient for much longer, number 065, for your misdeeds shall soon receive their proper reward. And by reward, I mean a blast from my patented, unstoppable Bedlam cannon!
You mean Shining Nova's patented, whatever she calls it? Definitely not that, though. How the hell did you get it anyway? Don't tell me she gave it to you.
If you must know, we struck a mutually agreeable bargain. All I have to do is defeat you insubordinate ingrates, and the world will welcome you as their newest, greatest hero. Well, she didn't say that specifically, but I can read between the lines. And do you know what else is written there, number 065? I said, do you know what else is written there, number 065?
No, what else?
That you're fired!
I don't even bother to move as the blast of energy careens harmlessly to my left. He missed by such a wide margin that I could tell his aim was off long before he fired it.
Ah, blasted newfangled contraption! She must have miscalibrated it.
As Bedlam struggles with the armor's wrist cannon, I hold out my right arm and activate my energy blade.
It's not miscalibrated. And for the record, I'm not replacing you. You're just outdated, Shining Bedlam. The world's moved past people like you, whether they're villains or heroes. Here, I'll show you. I know you won't see this coming!
I take a jabbing step to the left and then burst towards my right, blade at the ready. Bedlam tries to track me with the Nova suit's wrist cannon, firing madly, but his aim is still way off. The suit might boost his speed and reflexes, but he can't take advantage of it. With beams of energy whizzing by me, I close the gap and swing, years of pent-up frustration behind every blow.
God! Stop it! Stop! No fair! I'm not used to the controls!
Well, neither is Stanley. Bedlam stumbles backwards, clutching the suit's damaged shoulder and nearly falling over in the process.
Enough of this! You're not worthy of my glamorous, glimmering justice! If that mutinous witch is going to use her underling to fight her battles, then I'll use mine.
And I'll beat his ass again.
Forget that damnable machine, Donald! Get over here! Your hero requires your assistance!
But you said... right away, sir. I'm on it.
After Dave casual waves, he trots over to his master's side.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Stan. You know, I don't like to think of myself as a violent person, but this is still gonna feel pretty gosh darn good.
I doubt that.
I've readied my energy blade completely at ease. Time to finish this. No need to be flashy or take too many risks. Let's be methodical about it. Systematic even. I beckon Dave towards me, and he's happy to oblige, stretching forward, swinging his baton like a madman. Of course, it doesn't do much good when it runs into the flat of my energy blade. With Dave's attack stopped cold, we're caught in a deadlock. As my attacker tries to lean forward to take advantage of his height, I shift my weight and kick his left knee.
Hey, no fair!
Taller man's leg buckles and he falls until my knee finds his chin.
But I'm your supervisor.
Not anymore, bitch. As Dave collapses to the ground, I turn my attention to Bedlam, who's once again trying to fire his cannons to little effect. Bobbing and weaving, I stay low as I charge my former boss. Wayward energy blasts whizzing above my head. Within moments, I'm in range, and I swing for his knees as well.
Ha! What do you think you're swinging at? Always aim for the... Wait, why am I... No!
As Bedlam tries to pivot and counterattack, the suit's knees give out and he flails back and forth before tumbling backwards, right down the stairs that lead to the supercomputer.
Ah, oh, this is ridiculous!
Yet whatever his complaint is, it's undeniably effective. With no functionality in his legs, Bedlam is unable to stop himself until he finally collapses at the base of the stairs, either unconscious or too dizzy to move.
When I tell people this story, I'm definitely gonna say I planned that.
I exhale and deactivate my weapon, giving my former boss one final look before turning away. Well, I guess that's that.
So Bedlam botched it, huh? Damn it, I tried to tell him to bring the suit to me instead of using it himself, but no.
I whirl around just in time to see Shang Nova's armor rise from the ground like some kind of undead cyborg. What the hell is going on? Once it's upright, the suit cracks open, spits out the unconscious form of the villain formerly known as Lord Bedlam, and then immediately closes again.
Nova? How are you doing this? And where are you doing it from?
That's none of your concern. Though if this idiot had stuck to the plan we agreed to, I'd be right there blasting an energy beam up your ass, you lying sack of shit. I still can't believe you could look me in the eyes and lie to me like that. Breaks my heart, Stan. I mean, I knew you were lying, but...
Sure, Jan.
So you lied right back and struck a deal with Bedlam, huh? That's a little hypocritical.
Yeah, Shining Nova.
You're in no position to pass judgment on anyone. Not after what you did to Dynamo. If I hadn't gone to her when I did, I don't care if Scorpion stole the sword. There's no excuse. It's unforgivable.
Oh, so you're in the forest already. You must have escaped earlier than I thought.
Madam Scorpion. She strides over, one hand on the hilt of her sword. Facing Lord Bedlam alone was one thing, but if Nova's directly involved, then she is not about to take any chances.
But if you're that far away, then you won't have a strong enough signal to control this suit with any degree of precision. Now will you?
There you are. I was hoping you two were together. But no, you're right. I can't control it well enough to fight, but I can still make you pay for what you've done.
What's that beeping? Oh, shit!
The suit's going to self-destruct. Frantically, I try to scramble for cover.
No, you can't.
Like a bolt of black and red lightning, Scorpion bursts forward, slicing through the vacant armor in a whirlwind of blood-red flashes. The beeping stops and the armor crumbles, falling to the ground in a dozen smoldering pieces.
No one on this earth can make me do anything.
She's the worst. I love her so much. I let out a sigh of relief as Scorpion deactivates her sword and flips her hair over her shoulder. She can act as confident as she wants, but that felt awfully close.
I'd say the same thing, but my boss is standing right here, so it'd be a little awkward.
Your deference is appreciated, but you've earned the right to boast. You handled yourself well. That old fool never stood a chance. In fact, you were exemplary all day, Stanley. I'm quite impressed. How did it feel?
Good. Real good, actually.
Well, get used to it, because this is just the beginning.
Turning swiftly on her heel, Madame Scorpion saunters towards the exit. What word was I trying to say instead of exit? What the fuck? Completely ignoring the prone twitching form of Lord Bedlam as she steps past him.
See to it that this room is cleaned up, will you? Discreetly, if you please.
Yes, ma'am. You've got it.
Only as Madame Scorpion starts to leave do I realize exactly where I am. Between the fight and my attempt to take cover, I found myself standing right next to the supercomputer, and the screen's still on. This machine is part of Scorpion's network, so messing with it can mess with her powers, harm her, at the very least piss her off. Should I investigate anyway? I'm just gonna leave it be for now. I know that could probably lead to me, betraying her, but I'm good. I shake my head and step away. No, better leave it. I've got a good thing going now. Why risk it? As Madame Scorpion nears the exit, she hesitates and glances over her shoulder.
And Stanley, take the day off tomorrow. You've earned it.
With that, she departs, and I let out a sigh of relief. Thank God. I really could use a break. It's been a long day, possibly the longest day I've ever had. But at the same time, I don't necessarily feel like collapsing into my bed. There's something fueling me that I can't explain, like some new wellspring of previously untapped energy. This isn't just the end of another hard day's work. In fact, it doesn't feel like the end of anything. Maybe it's just like she said. For me, maybe it's a new beginning. For the first time in years, I can see a future for myself that's better than my present. I should probably feel bad about how I got there, but I don't. Honestly, I don't feel bad at all. Oh shit. Okay, I feel like this was going a little long. I knew maybe there might be another episode once I realized how long this one was going. So we are going to save that finale for another day. This one was a really long episode. Thank you all so much for checking out the series. If you enjoyed the game, if you've enjoyed the videos, if you enjoyed my commentary, if watching this made you want to play the game, it'd be really cool if you get those like and subscribe buttons. Maybe leave a comment if you're feeling generous. And if you're feeling even more generous, maybe check out my new actual play series that I'm a part of. I would really appreciate it so much if you went and subscribe to Joanne's channel. That would be so fucking cool of you to do that. This is an endeavor I wanted to be part of for so long, and I'm really excited that we have started this. And I hope it works out for everyone involved, and I hope we're doing this for a long time. So once again, thank you so much for checking out my channel. And maybe do yourself a favor and check out another one. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.